Hi everyone, welcome back. I'm Di, and today I am sharing with you the first of what will be my SeriesTBRathon reading vlogs for the month of August. So I have been doing some themed reading vlogs lately, right? And I was watching my friend, the Creepy Geek, and she had mentioned that there was this readathon called SeriesTBRathon. And it's hosted by, I think her handle is a Scottish lass reads. Apparently this readathon has been around for a while. It's a 2 times a year readathon, and so I think it's February and August or something like that. In any case, I will link the Twitter account because that's where I got all of my templates and things with the prompts to use. But I thought it might be nice to focus on some series in the month of August. I really want to kind of pare down the number of series that I'm currently in the middle of, and I'm in the middle of over 100, I think, because I do read a lot of manga series as well. And so, yeah, I thought it might be nice to focus on series as a theme for the month. And so I'll post a picture of the prompts for the month of August here. Apparently all of the prompts have something to do with love. And so there are things like children or child, siblings, parents. I think there's couple goals, extended family, found family. Those are what I remember off the top of my head. I don't have it actually up in front of me right now, but I think I can probably fit in a few things here. And if I can't find things that I want to read that will go on this board, apparently SeriesTBRathon has also been doing a year-long challenge for the first time. So I've got prompts from all of the previous months from this year as well. And so I'll find something to fit in there. I don't really have anything that I really want to read right now, so I'm kind of going to let the prompts guide me a little bit and see. And if there's something that comes up that I want to read that's not part of this prompt board, I'll look through some of the other prompt boards to see if I can fill it in on a different prompt board. And if I can't, I'm going to read it anyway, because that's what I'm doing. And so, yeah, this is going to be the first of a couple, at least, SeriesTBRathon reading vlogs. So, yeah, I hope you enjoy. And so I wanted to come on here today because I did start my first book for the SeriesTBRathon, and I wanted to talk to you about it. So I started today, this is 86, the light novel, Volume 3. I'm not sure if they're calling them volumes or episodes, but this says run through the battlefront finish as the byline. And so this is by Asato with illustrations by Shirabi and mechanical design by 1-4. This one is published by Yen On and is rated ages 16 and up, which is older teen. So this series is set in a world where there are 85 sectors, and this area or town or continent, country, I'm not quite sure how to explain it, but this empire, I guess, is being attacked by artificially intelligent mecha units. And so they have been fighting this war for a while, and the government has announced to the people of the empire that they have figured out a way to fight this war against these artificially intelligent machines without loss of life. So they basically come up with their own machines that they're able to send out into battle and fight on humans' behalves. But what the people don't know is that there's actually an 86th sector, and those people are called 86. And they are the ones that are out there piloting these machines and fighting on behalf of the empire. And there is massive loss of life. several casualties, and they recruit, well, I wouldn't say recruit, but they send kids out into battle. They just deem them like basically unworthy to be part of this empire. And so you've got these fighters, and then you've got these people that are called handlers who are living in like the first sector. So if you think of like Hunger Games, where there's like all of the different regions, right? And then the first region is the one that has all of the rich people who like have all these jobs and things. So it's kind of like that. So we basically follow a team of 86, and their newly assigned handler, because being a handler is stressful. They are with these people as they go into battle and basically lose their lives. And lots of times the handlers can't take it, and things happen with their mental health. And so this particular team has been very successful, but they have been assigned a new handler, and we follow them getting to know this new handler, thinking that she is like all of the other handlers who look down at them and basically feel like, yeah, this is what you're supposed to do with your life because you're worthless kind of mentality. But our handler feels like she thinks of the 86 much differently and has much more respect for them. But as she interacts with them, she realizes that she does still have prejudices, and it's her like unraveling those prejudices and like learning about them, learning their hardships, actually trying to become a friend and ally. And in the meanwhile, we watch our team go into battle, and we see them lose some of their comrades and the struggles that they go through and things like that. And so I really, really enjoy the series. I think I started it this year. I've read 2 of these, but I've watched the 2 seasons of the anime that are out, and it's really, really good. If any of that sounded interesting to you, I definitely recommend watching the anime or reading the manga, reading the light novel, listening to the audiobooks. It's really, really interesting, and I've been enjoying it so far. So anyway, I'm on the 3rd installment. I've been wanting to get back to this series for a while, and I did start listening to it on audiobook because I had finished Dark Lover, which it was my audiobook. And so I'm really enjoying the narration. I enjoy the narrators. It is dual narrated, so we have a female narrator and we have a male narrator. And it's just really nice to be back with these characters. I was a little bit confused when I started this one because we start with like a flashback scene of when our main character, Shin, main male character, who is the leader of our group of 86, was a kid fighting in these machines. And it kind of tells you like what he went through to be able to survive until we see him here in this story. And so, yeah, I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying being back with these characters. There are definitely some hard things that have already come up because there was loss of life in the previous volume, and so the characters are kind of dealing with the loss of life here, and casualties of war. What are we fighting? Like, what's the main goal here? And we follow our group of 86 as they try to basically live a new life, I guess. Live a life that's different, more meaningful, I think, is probably the best way to describe what's happening here. And so, yeah, I will say that it's not really enjoyable to be in the world because obviously loss of life, war, conflict, people who are rude and look down on them and things like that is all hard stuff to read, but I enjoy these characters a lot. And like I said, I've watched 2 seasons of the anime, so I kind of already know where this story is going, and we haven't hit story where I haven't seen in the anime yet. So I am familiar with what's going on. I'm enjoying this a lot. I'm going to use this one for the prompt of found family, because our 86th battalion that we're following here, they are family to each other. They all have lost their families and have been orphaned or things like that. And so their crew members are their family. They've been through thick and thin together. They've seen some of their quote-unquote family members fall, and they've all grieved together and things like that. And so definitely for me, that's found family. And so that's what I'm using this one for. And I'm glad that I'm finally back to this series, because I've been really, really wanting to get back to it for a while. And so, yeah, that's where I'm at right now. I won't start anything as far as physical reading until after I'm done with my current read, which is Haunted by Heather Graham. But by the time you see this, I will have already finished up my reading vlog of starting new series, which will include that book. So yeah, I definitely also want to get back into reading more manga, because I feel like I haven't really read any manga outside of the Monochrome Manga Club selections. There are definitely manga titles and series that I really want to read, and I know some of them can fit into these prompts. And so look forward to more series reading, more manga series reading in this vlog. And I think that's all I have to check in with you for today. So I will see you later. Okay, it has been a couple of days. I just got off of work, so I wanted to give you a little bit of a reading update. So I am still reading 86, Volume 3, Episode 3. This is the light novel by Asato. I've only read a couple of chapters since I talked to you last on this. In fact, I didn't even listen to my audiobook today because I wasn't feeling well. And so, yeah, but I can't even tell you, like, what chapter I'm actually on in the book, because the chapters in this light novel start on chapter 6, which I thought was odd. You can see right here, it says chapter 6. Well, it's the other way around, but it does say chapter 6. And so I'm on chapter 7 of the audiobook, but the audiobook starts on chapter 1. So I think I'm on chapter 13, but I haven't actually confirmed that. So I think I'm on chapter 13. In any case, I am really enjoying being back with these characters, and I do find the audiobook entertaining. I just wasn't feeling well today and didn't listen to any. But I will continue that one tomorrow during my lunch break. Now, the other thing that I have started, because I finished my physical book for the previous vlog, was Fruits Basket Volume 10 in the collector's edition. This one is by Natsuki Takaya, published by Yam Press, rated teen. I'm sure you all know what this one's about, right? It's a pretty popular title. It's about a girl named Toru Honda, and she is an orphan, or becomes one, and her family members don't want to take her in, and so she kind of feels like she doesn't want to be a burden, and ends up kind of being out on her own. She sets up a tent on a piece of property and starts living out of it. She goes to high school and everything. Well, she set up a tent on property that belongs to this particular family called the Somas, and one of the boys in particular is in her grade and very popular. And he and his, like, guardian, who he lives with, stumble across her tent one day, and they end up taking her in. And what she ends up learning about this family is that they are cursed. The family has this curse of the zodiac. So it's the Chinese zodiac. So all of the animals of the Chinese zodiac. Some of the people in this family will turn into the animals of the Chinese zodiac if they're hugged by a member of the opposite sex. And so she ends up finding out and meeting the Soma family members who are afflicted with this curse. And there's also the addition of the myth of the cat along with the zodiac. And she learns all about that and who the cat is. And we kind of just follow her meeting people, getting closer to the members of the Soma family. And it kind of shows how she and they kind of make her life better. Kind of. I will admit, this is not a favorite story of mine. It is wildly popular, and I don't understand why, because I have many issues with this. But I definitely want to finish reading it. I obviously have collected it for my shelves, but this is a series that is just so full of abuse. All kinds of different abuse. Physical abuse, emotional abuse, verbal abuse. Lots of abuse. And I have a lot of issues with other things that happen in this story that I can't even talk to you about because it would be spoiler. So, I am 3 omnibus volumes away from the end of this series, so I definitely want to read them. This has been one of the series that I've wanted to finish for years, and I just keep putting it off and putting it off and putting it off, and this is the year I'm going to finish Fruits Basket, and so that's what I'm doing. I am almost halfway through this volume. So these are omnibus editions. I believe there are 2 volumes in each collector's edition, and we always get 2 characters, so you can see we have a character here, and we have a character here. And so, yes, it's okay. I mean, it's not like something that bothers me consistently when I'm reading it. It's just, I know about this story. I've watched both anime adaptations, and I believe the one that is most recent is very, very close to what happens in the manga. And so I've already watched that. I know how this ends, and I think if you even think about it when you start this series, you know that there's only one way this story ends. And I'm just not a fan. I am not a fan. But that being said, I do want to finish this series, and so I am slowly making my way through. This is definitely taking me longer than it would normally with a manga volume. Normally I'd sit down and crack out one of these omnibus editions in one night like I do with Tokyo Revengers nowadays, but this I've already been reading for like 2 or 3 nights, and I'm only halfway through. So that kind of tells you where my interest level is with this as well. But definitely want to check this off my series list, and it fits for Series TBRathon because this involves siblings. It involves extended family members because we're talking about cousins. We're also talking about, I would say there's a found family aspect in here as well. And so it checks off a bunch of boxes for the Series TBRathon prompts. And so that's another reason why I definitely wanted to pick this one up. But I'm not going to be reading the last 3 volumes back to back to back. Definitely will need a break after this one, and I'll pick up something else after I'm done with that. But definitely wanted to get on and let you know where I was with my reading for the Series TBRathon. Things are just going. I think if you've watched previous episodes of my diary entries, you know that I'm kind of in the middle of a position change at work that is slowly moving ahead. We're getting closer and closer, but there are just some things that are not falling into place as smoothly as I would like. And so we're trying to push through those, and I think that's another reason why I just wasn't feeling well today. Let's just say there's a lot of pressure being thrown on me by my previous boss, who hasn't been my boss in a while, and I think it's just getting to me. I feel much better now, so that's good. And as far as watching goes, because we're off season right now, we've just been trying to like find things here and there to watch, and we've kind of settled on some true crime, and we do enjoy watching true crime documentaries. We find them very interesting, lots of sad stories, and there's several like different shows that we watch, but we noticed that there was new seasons of Killer Cases out on Hulu, and so we're catching up with that. And so that's what we've been doing. Not much else going on here. It is hot, hot, hot. You know that's not my favorite. But yeah, other than that, I'm just going to continue doing what I'm doing. I'll check in with you the next time I've made some progress, which will either be when I finish 86 or I finish Fruits Basket and I pick up something else. So I hope you're all having an amazing day, and I will talk to you later. Okay, so we are at our kind of local round one, and I've been reading this manga, Fruits Basket. So they have these plushies, and they have Yuki in his animal form, and out of all of the characters, Yuki is one of my favorites, and so I'm going to go ahead and try for Yuki and see if he wants to come home with me. I think I'm going to try for this one right here. No, not quite. Let me try again. Kind of don't know if that's in a better or worse position. Let's see. He's playing with me. One more time. Nope. Doesn't look like he wants to come home. Hello, so I have an update for you. I have finished Fruits Basket Volume 10 in the Collector's Edition. So this one is by Natsuki Takaya, published by Young Press Rated Teen. And I told you before that this is not my favorite series. It is very beloved in the community. But for me, there are so many things that bother me about this series that I just can't get on the train with everybody else. And so I know the story, I've watched the anime, I know where this is going. I kind of figured it out from the very first volume. As I told you before, there's only one way this story can end, and so I'm just trying to finish the series so that I can say that I finished it, and I did finish this volume. It was okay. I'm giving it 3 stars. I've got 2 more volumes to go before I finish this series. I'm not sure yet whether or not I'm going to unhaul that series when I'm done. I don't think I will, just because the collector's editions are really pretty. And like I said, it's really beloved in the community, so it would be nice to have. It's kind of like the issue I'm having with Sailor Moon, because I didn't enjoy Sailor Moon either. Very controversial opinion there, but yeah. Sailor Moon, we read for the Moniker Manga Club. I didn't enjoy that either. It was a 3-star series for me. And so I have these beautiful collector's editions, and I don't think I'm going to unhaul them just because they're beautiful, but I will never read them again. So, yeah. Let me know what you would do in that situation. Would you unhaul it? Being that it's such a classic title, and such beautiful editions? Or should I just keep them just to say, okay, I've read them, I didn't enjoy them, but I've, put in the money to collect these series, and they weren't cheap. They weren't cheap for sure. But I do enjoy the look of both collections. I just don't enjoy the stories. So, yeah, and they won't be something I ever reread. So, yeah. In any case, I moved on to a couple of other volumes after that. I read 2 volumes of Ladies on Top. So this is by Nejiganameta, published by Steamship, which is an imprint of 7 Seas. And these are rated older teen, but there is mature content in this one. And so this series is about our couple here on the cover. And I think one of the lines on the back of Volume 3 describe this series the best. So it says, Natsuki and Shinomiya have left what most people call normal behind and are searching for what good sex means for them. That's pretty much what this story is about. So these two don't kind of conform to what society says that they should enjoy in the bedroom. And so she likes to be the dominant person, and he likes something very specific, or is wanting to experiment with something very specific sexually, but is very embarrassed about it. So when these two meet and they start dating, they accept each other for who they are and what they want to explore and things like that. Their communication is really good. I'm really enjoying watching them go through this journey together. But in Volume 3, this series brought in a trope that I really hate. And thankfully, it didn't last more than these 2 volumes. But it was kind of like, why are we doing this? There's more than enough in this story, I feel, with the exploration of what these two are trying to discover about themselves and together, that we didn't need that particular trope. And so, yeah, both of these volumes contain that short-term addition of that trope to this story, but I enjoyed it. I enjoy watching these two together. I enjoy their communication, and they did go through a little bump in the road during these 2 volumes as well, and I enjoyed watching them work it out. And so, yes, really enjoyed this series. I think I've got 2 volumes left to finish the series, so maybe I'll be able to do that as well by the end of the month. But enjoyed these, gave them both 4 stars. And I kind of forgot that this was going to be a Series TBRathon video, and so for Fruits Basket, this one is going to go towards, I think, family or parents, because there are scenes with the parents in here. It's going to be found family because essentially Toru and the Somas that she meets in this series become kind of found family. It's going to be extended family because essentially all the Somas that we meet in here are cousins in some way, shape, or form. And I think I'm also going to include animal companion because the Somas that we do meet in this series are affected with that curse and become animals. And there was a scene in here where one of them did change over. And so that's what I'm going to count for that one. This one, I think I'm just going to go ahead and put them in couple goals because I do enjoy how well they communicate with each other, how well they like to say, okay, this is not working for me, this is, and things like that. And so that's what I'm going to use for a couple goals. And then the last thing that I finished recently was 86 Volume 3. So this is the light novel by Asato. This is published by Yan On, ages 16 and up, so that is teen. And so I really enjoyed this one. I listened to the entirety of it, an audiobook, which I do own, but I also own the physical copy. And this installment was the last of what I know of this series. And so I watched both seasons of the anime, really enjoyed it. And this volume ends where this second season of the anime ends. And so the next volume will be completely new material for me, and I'm really excited for that and to see where this story is going to go. And so, yeah, I keep hoping that they're going to animate more of this series, but I really enjoy these characters. I enjoy the journey that they're on. They're still going through a lot of stuff, emotionally and socially. But I just really enjoy the characters and their interactions with each other, and definitely that found family feel. And so, yes, gave this one 4 stars as well, and I'm going to put this one in as found family. I don't think I can put this one in under anything else, but it definitely fits for found family, I think. And so, really enjoyed everything that I have read so far for series. Well, I enjoyed reading it, yes, but, Fruits Basket. I'm glad that I've had progress, because I think it's been 2 years where I've been saying, okay, I'm going to finish the series, I'm going to finish the series, I'm going to finish the series, and I just don't do it. And so I'm finally going to do it. I'm going to do it. You're going to hold me to that. And so this is what I have finished for this vlog. And so, yeah, I think I'm going to end it here. I think there's more than enough content for this diary entry. So let me know down in the comments below if you've read any of these series or if any of these titles sound interesting to you. Again, let me know what you would do with a series that you have these really beautiful editions. There are classic titles, but you just would never read them again. But in any case, I can always put it on the bottom shelf of a bookcase, right? And just leave it there. Well, let me know what you would do. Again, let me know if you've read or watched any of these titles, because I know Fruits Basket and 86 both have animes. Fruits Basket has 2 animes. The first anime does not complete the story, but the second anime, the more recent one, does. So, yeah, let me know your thoughts on these if you've read them or if any of the titles sound interesting to you. And if you've made it to this point of the video and you'd just like to let me know that you were here, if you could leave me some kind of animal emoji down in the comments below, it would be greatly appreciated and would really help me out. And that will do it for me today. So I hope you're all doing great. I hope you're all safe and healthy. And until next time, take care and smile always. Bye!